on, and we don't want to miss a minute of it. So I'm going to try and turn the sound down a little bit.
From the other thing.
There we go. That's much better. Okay. So I'd like to first thank you all for making it to the Santa Barbara REIA Expo 2. This is the second time that we've been here with Linda Playagas putting this thing on. Thank you so much, Linda. She has done a great job of organizing all this, and I'm just so impressed each time this happens. We usually meet downstairs once a month in a smaller room, and I've been trying to figure out what would it take for us to move that up so that we're in this room with a nice view and everything else. And we really don't have a lot more seats up here than we do when we're in the evening. Do we have anybody here that shows up in the evening to our meetings? I've got Ken, we've got Helen, we've got a few people, Rick, okay. So, okay, Ursula. So, I think from what we've gone through to make this happen, it's quite a lot of work, getting all the advertising out, making phone calls and everything else. I've got my son Michael here. Ringwald is on the video, he's doing the video, and my daughter Alana is out there, and she's probably called you up, and she's helping register people to get in here. So I was surprised, the last meeting we had, the place was full when we started, and the same people were here all day long, which I was really surprised. I kind of thought it would build up a little and slow down and build up a little and slow down, and it didn't really seem to happen like that last time. It looks like this time we have a little bit less people in the beginning, but that's why I start the whole thing off so that we can, get through a little bit of time and get some other people in here, and then we get down to the real stuff that's going on. I got some real stuff for you eventually too, okay? So, just to give you a quick rundown of what we've got going on here, we have a speaker schedule. Now, does anybody in here have an iPhone, an Android, tablet, or something where you can get access to the internet? Okay. So if you do, and you go to this web address, which I don't know if you can see, but it's santabarbarareia.com/7-14-12, you'll get access to the whole schedule, all the speakers, everything that's going on. So if you go, well, what time did they say this next thing was going to happen? You'll have access to that and be able to look that over. Okay? We're thinking about having internet access here, and Linda found out from talking to Fess Parker. Anybody want to guess how much internet access costs? Fess Parker?
Fess Parker's not a liar.
Bless his heart, he did a great thing. If he was here, he'd probably knock the price down. $150 for the day.
Oh my God.
Exactly. That's what we said. Forget it. I've got my Android tethered over to the internet, so we do have it. Most of our speakers are going to have PowerPoint anyway, and won't need it. But if you have an iPhone or something that gets you to the internet, then you can get access to that and you're good to go. Okay? So we have a good list of speakers we've got here today. I'm going to go through and just quickly introduce the different people, and then we'll get into their bios and who they are in more depth as we bring each one up. Okay? So I'm going to, you know me, Dan Ringwell. I'm the president of the Santa Barbara Real Estate Investor Association. I'll get into that a little bit deeper. At about 9:30, we're going to bring up Tony Martinez. Tips for investing in notes. Tony? Yes. There's Tony. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you. And then at 10, we're going to have Matthew Owens, and I know Matthew's here. So thank you, Matthew. He is real estate due diligence. Well, I'll tell you, if there wasn't a reason to do due diligence, I got a call just yesterday, and they said, hello, is this Dan Ringwald? And I said, yeah. And they said, this is the Cleveland, Ohio Police Department. Oh, no. And my heart sunk, and I went, uh-oh. I got a rental there. Am I in trouble? And they said, well, there's a bunch of investors in Los Angeles, and they got ripped off by this guy a few years back. And I went, well, God bless you. I know who you are, and I know what you're going to do. Thank you for, you're hot on their trail. So that's something that we could have avoided with some serious due diligence. Okay, so we're going to talk about that too, in depth later on, but Matthew's going to cover some of that. Okay, then at 10:30, 10:40, we're going to have Craig Lieberman with Commercial Real Estate News. Craig? Okay, thank you very much for sharing. And let's see, 10:30, 10:50, we have, looks like Arizona IPX, why Arizona Real Estate is on fire. I don't have a name down, and I know that's Daniel. Yep. And I thank you very much, Daniel, for showing up. As soon as you told me his name, I knew I liked him, you know. Oh, Daniel. Good name.
That was after you sold me a piece of real estate.
That's right. So we're going to be doing some stuff here too. We've already talked about coming back and doing some more building up of the existing REIA and working with Daniel. So I look forward to that and kind of maybe making the jump up here permanently. Linda did a good job of negotiating with Fest Parker to get the price down in this room. So seeing she's paved the way, that's going to help us when we continue to move forward. So thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. Okay, and then we've got Sensei Gellert, Wholesale Investing Made Easy. Sensei is back here.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Welcome. You're going to have a lot of fun today in regards to learning from each of these vendors here because they're extremely knowledgeable.
And he is a great speaker. I've been very excited about having him be here, and I'm going to see if I can't talk you into maybe an evening thing sometime, and it'll be just you. So we'll talk about that too. So thank you very much, Sensei. Let's see. Then we're going to break for lunch. It looks like around 1 o'clock. Anybody know where we've got restaurants downstairs and we're right here in the closed area? We're only going to have about a half hour, but you know nobody's going to fine you for coming back late or leaving early. So you know, do what you need to do and just enjoy. I mean, God, what more could you ask for in a room like this with this kind of view in Santa Barbara? And people say, Dan, don't you ever go any place and see these properties? And my kid said, well, you never even look at them. You don't even go. How do you know it's the right property? And I say, well, you know, if we get pictures from the realtor, we get pictures from the inspector, we get pictures from the contractors, we get pictures from the owners. If those pictures are all different pictures of a different house, we got a big problem. Otherwise, that's as close as I need to get, you know. Let's see. Our sales presentation, we got raffles. Okay, so we got a few things maybe. I personally am going to raffle off, and you're going to see why, a couple of $75 gift tickets for 5 hours worth of web support and web design. And when you see the website that my son Michael is setting up, my daughter Alana and Michael both do websites, and they do social media marketing and different things. When you see the website that we're getting for a client right now, you'll go, for $300 or $400? Wow, I want one. You know, it's pretty amazing. So you'll see that. 1:30 to 2, I'm up again, and what we're going to do is I'm going to get into a little more in-depth information on my 20K rent-ready properties and how all that works. I'll briefly talk about it here this morning. And I should say, you know, we are the Santa Barbara Real Estate Investor Association. We are the home of the Extreme Makeover.
Oh.
Do I hear anything?
Yes.
What?
What are we supposed to say?
Ah, I got to change home of the Extreme Makeover.
Move that bus.
Whatever. You're not even going to get $10 this time. You got to do better than that. So this is a little game that we play just to kind of keep us all awake. You know, at night when it's 6 to 9 o'clock and you've eaten and you're tired from the day, it's kind of like. So I do little things that kind of wake us up and keep us going. So if you don't hear me, you're going to miss out. Okay, and that kind of helps pay for people's entrance. Okay, so that's 2:30. We're going to reintroduce the vendors. Vendor guest Q&A. This could be a chance to dig into the vendors. Each time we have a break, you really need to get back to the vendors here, talk to them about what's going on. But we'll have a time from 2 to 3:30 that we're going to reintroduce the vendors and go through that. And then let's see, questions. And then from 2:30 to 4, we're going to do networking. Basically, that just gives you a chance to meet with each other. You know, that's why you're here, really. You know, to tell you the truth, when I first thought about being, quote, Santa Barbara Real Estate Investor Association and doing what I'm doing here, it's kind of like, why would I want to do that? You know? And I got really tired of driving to Los Angeles, and a bunch of us did. We didn't want to do that, and finally somebody said, hey, you know, Dan said he'd do this. They passed out an email, and I went, uh-oh, looks like I'm going to have to do it. But the truth is, if you don't network, and you don't meet people, and you don't get out there and put it out, you're not going to get very far. You've really got to get out there, knock on the doors, and see. And that's why one of the reasons, I'm going to go ahead and I'll bring up some of this stuff that we end up doing on meetup.com. It gives people a chance to put their picture up there, their information, and it really helps the networking. Okay, so most of you people aren't really in the Santa Barbara REIA. I can see from the hands of the people that are here, you need to get back to the website, santabarbarareia.com, and just sign up. It's free, doesn't cost anything. Okay, the only thing that will cost is going to the meetings, like $10 if you pay in advance. But there's lots of information up there, lots of reasons to be involved and to connect with people and network. Okay? What time have we got?
9:22.
9:22. Sure glad I saved the in-depth stuff for later, huh? We're moving through fast. Okay, so just to give you a little bit more information on me, I created the Santa Barbara Real Estate Investor Association in 2006, and I received some education from the Santa Barbara City College and UCSB, but as you know, that's not where education begins or ends, right? We're on a learning path all the way through till it's time to move on. So I started the property management investing in 1978 when I was 28 years old. I bought a duplex out in Isla Vista, Party City. Ask Matthew, he knows about Party City.
Halloween.
CSB, Halloween. Exactly, you know. So it was a lot of fun. I did have to sell it recently just because as the market went down, I went, man, I don't want to wait another 10 years. Because you know, right now we're at 2012. Santa Barbara prices are back to 2002. We lost 10 years. Okay, so I didn't want to lose 10 years, so I sold some of my properties and went out to the Midwest or whatever and invested where I could get more cash flow. And you know, I bought it for $70,000 and I sold it for $800,000. Okay.
Wow.
So and that was after the market was going down, and my wife said, "Sell, sell." She's good. So in any case, I worked out at UCSB for about 26 years. Some students of mine and my staff and I created UCSB.edu, the main campus website. Plus, I networked all the lecture halls and classrooms back into my network in Kerr Hall, so that gave me the experience, computing-wise, to be able to support you with your computing needs, websites, networking, whatever. You're going to see, whatever. You're going to see some of this stuff later on in the day on the websites that we're doing here, and be pretty excited about getting involved in some of that. Okay. National home buyers, that's the 20K rent-ready properties. We're going to dig into that. You can see how I work with investors and I do joint ventures, and within 12 months they're getting approximately 18% return on their money for $20,000. That's not a down payment. That's not a loan. That's the full price of the property. We go in on the deed together, and then I do all the dirty work that nobody wants to do or have time for, and the investors just get to go back and do whatever they want to do. You know, maybe they're an artist and they love doing that. They just hate dealing with real estate or whatever. It's my job. I make sure, and then within 6 years, the rent pays that off. They're getting 100% return. So each year, that interest goes up. You know, return on interest goes up. 6 years, it's paid off. Boom. We'll get into it. And then I teach the investors how to do that through IRA, self-directed, tax-free if they want to. Depends on your age, you know. And I help teach the tenants how to purchase the homes on low interest, no money down, no closing cost loans where they don't even need to have good credit because the company works with them on an income to debt ratio. That's NACA.com. And believe it or not, once they're qualified, we take that back to Section 8. If they're on Section 8, we say, hey, they just got qualified for a loan. Would you rather pay $800 for their rent, or would you rather pay $400 for the mortgage payment? Does anybody know that Section 8 makes the mortgage payment? Yeah, they'll do that. And who else is going to be more likely to pay retail for that property? An investor? No. A person that lives there that doesn't even have to pay the mortgage payment? Yeah. Okay. So you can see how that could work out. So we're pushing 9:30. Okay. So I am going to turn this over. Let's get back up here to the top of the schedule.